This is problem number 32 from the August 2017 Algebra Regents exam. In this question, we're trying to solve the equation by completing the square. So we're going to start off actually by getting everything over to one side of the equation, and we can just do that by taking away 15 from both sides. And then we'll get x squared minus 6x minus 15 equals 0. And so completing the square means we're going to take the b term, our middle term, find out what half of it is, and square it. So in this example, our middle term is negative 6. Half of that would be negative 3, and negative 3 squared would be positive 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to, now that we know that number, we're going to both add and subtract 9 from the equation. And we can do that because we really haven't changed it at all. We've added 9 and subtracted 9. But of course, the reason we did that is so that we can complete the square, because now this little section here becomes, if we can factor it to be x minus 3 squared. And then we're going to combine minus 9 and minus 15 to get minus 24. Next, we're going to solve this equation, we're going to add 24 to both sides, and we'll get x minus 3 squared equals positive 24. And then we're going to square root both sides, which means that x minus 3 is going to equal the square root of 24. Now, because we are square rooting it, we could get two potential answers, both a positive and negative version of the square root of 24. And then our final step would be to add 3 to both sides to get x completely by itself. So in the end, we would get that x equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 24. Oh, I almost forgot. Of course, whenever we're dealing with radicals, we should always check to see if we can simplify. Now, the square root of 24, we can in fact simplify, and we can do that by doing a prime factorization table. So we've got 6 times 4, 3 times 2, 2 times 2. So we've got 4, which is a factor of 24, which is also conveniently a perfect square, right? So you can think of the square root of 24 as the same thing as the square root of 4 times the square root of 6, and of course the square root of 4 is 2. So the square root of 24 is actually simplified to root 6. So I'm actually going to revise that answer, and what it should be is 3 plus or minus 2 root 6. That would be our proper simplified answer. So I hope that makes sense, and that's all for this video. Thanks for visiting JD's Regents Preparation.